Let's move on now to the Tennessee Titans in our 2023 NFL Draft review. But before we get into that, Ryan and I will getting to 2,000 subscribers by the NFL season. We're currently sitting at 1,200 subscribers. So it has been a great year so far, and we think we can get another 800 by the time the NFL season starts. So if you have not already, help us reach our goal by hitting that subscribe button, ringing that bell, and also leaving a comment on what you think of the Tennessee Titans draft. And with that being said, Ryan, let's get into this.
Let's do it.
The Titans, I think there is a lot of, being in Nashville here, seeing things on social media, not a lot of people are happy with the GM or the moves that were made. But I actually think in general it was a good draft for the Titans. If you combine this, which was an all-offensive draft, within their offseason moves where they signed 3 key players on the defensive side of the ball, and to a defense that shows how good of Coach Mike Vrabel is. This defense shouldn't be good, yet they're always like really good, like personnel wise. And so, but there are some good players. Not to talk poorly of the good players that are on the Titans defense, but in general, that also combined with injuries. But this draft, all offensive picks. There's one pick that I really don't like. And it was even before reports came out during the pick, but we will get to that. But I will start out with this, though. I have been very high on Peter Skoronski this entire time. I thought the Falcons could have potentially taken him at number 8 because there's a huge gap in the left guard position.
Yeah.
And he fits the Titans mold perfectly, I think.
No, I agree. I mean, Peter Skoronski, I know it says offensive tackle, but it probably really should just say offensive lineman. He was a 5-star center recruit coming out of high school, played a season at guard, and then Rashawn Slater went to the NFL, and Northwestern didn't have a tackle. So then they put Peter Skoronski at left tackle, and then the rest is history. He won national consensus All-American and was considered the best left tackle in the country in college football. So that to me, I think getting that at 11, especially, I think he was the 2nd or 3rd offensive lineman off the board.
Or Darnell Wright.
Went right before him. And so to me, I think that is a fantastic value there. And he probably will kick into guard. But again, I made this comparison in our lead up. I think he's a Quentin Nelson-esque guard with just how technically sound he is. He has a little bit of nastiness to him as well that I think Derrick Henry and Mike Vrabel and the Titans organization will love. So I think that's a really solid pick. I'm going to skip down the board a little bit, go down to Jalen Duncan, the offensive tackle from Maryland. I think that's great value in the 6th round. He's a much better run blocker than he is in pass protection. His hands get a little wild and away from his body, and he doesn't have a whole lot of power in pass protection. But in terms of athleticism and being able to seal off defenders, he's right at the top of this class. And I think that's really good value there for round 6, especially for a team that I think is going to be running the ball 65, 70% of the time. I think he's a fantastic fit there. So couple that with Peter Skoronski, and I really like this class.
He's definitely a project, but he's one. He can absolutely be a cornerstone left tackle in this league. Like you put him there, and he could absolutely be one of the best. So,
well, I think if you put him at right tackle, he could play in week 1, and it'll just kind of be learn as you go for him.
Well,
because he's so athletic, he makes up for a lot of his technical faults.
Yeah. So I will say this is where the Titans did good free agency. They made few signings, but they were good signings. They did sign Andre Dillard from Philadelphia. Right now he's slated at left tackle. Then also Nicholas Petit-Frere is right tackle. They will probably be he could compete with him for the right tackle position. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Petit-Frere also can maybe kick inside as well. So, he can. So I'll have to double check me on that. But in general, though, one of the biggest things for the Titans was their just a bunch of injuries to the offensive line and then offensive line depth. And these two guys right here, not only Skoronski will start day 1, but Duncan, as you said, he could see playing time either this year or next year and very early and provide a big impact. So other picks were all offensive skill position players. And let's start out here with Will Levis. If there was just 1 3 in the number that he was picked overall, I would not like this pick at all. But the fact that there are 2 3s, I actually like this pick a lot.
Yeah.
They traded up a little bit, only gave a third round next year instead of what they would have given up for him to move up to number 3 in the first round, which would have been potentially multiple first if it was a bidding war. And so maybe not multiple first. Maybe they would have given up something similar to what the Texans gave up.
Yeah, probably.
Anyways, though, but here I think this is good. This is just really good value. I mean, we all thought that he was a first round quarterback. We all can see the potential in there. He's not as physically gifted as Anthony Richardson, but also nobody is. So that's why Richardson went 4 and then Levis fell.
Yeah.
Here, I think he's coming into a good situation where he knows he can sit for a year. Tannehill is a veteran quarterback. Vrabel is a veteran coach. They are a run-first offense anyways around Derrick Henry. They're trying to bolster up this offensive line. So as this offensive line grows and he can sit for a year and develop and get to know this offense better, he's going to come in next year as a more refined QB with a much better offensive line in front of him, still relying on Derrick Henry. And I know here in Nashville, people are saying it's like we took a quarterback last year and then we also then took a running back again. And I say, like, quarterback-wise, this is a much, much improvement over Malik Willis.
Yeah.
We saw what Malik Willis was trying to do on the field, and it just is not – he's just not an NFL ready yet. He needs several more years, I think, because he was just really struggling just to make decisions. It just seemed like it. And to be fair to him also, he had a horrible offensive line in front of him. So maybe there is some quarterback competition here as well. But I like the competition. I think that he will provide a good value.
Yeah.
I want to skip over Tajay Spears next, unless if you had something to say about
No,
that.
I was actually going to do the exact same thing and do Josh Wiley and Colton Dowell now.
Yeah. Well, I'll just be frank. I don't know who Colton Dowell is.
Yeah, so. I'm actually not really sure either. So, late pick, probably some traits that they like, but not going to be like a contributor.
UT Martin's in Tennessee, not too far from Nashville, hometown kid. I hope he does well. Josh Wiley, I like Josh Wiley, 6'7", 245, 250 pounds, just a huge target, kind of a cornerstone of like what this Titans offense wants to run. They want to run a lot of 2 tight end sets. And so then when you get in the goal line situation, good luck guarding this guy because he's just a huge guy. So he had a lot of success at Cincinnati as well. So,
to me, I like Josh Wiley. He's not much of a blocker, but he's kind of a chaos agent in terms of when you get the ball in his hands, all hell kind of breaks loose, and he just goes, gets yards after catch. He runs people over. He's trying to jump over people. So I think that's pretty good value there. That's right about where he was projected to go. So yeah, but let's get into Tajay Spears here, and then we'll go over our overall grade for the Tennessee Titans draft class. Tajay Spears, so round 3, pick 81, I thought was a little high for him anyways. I had a mid-4th to mid-5th round grade on him. And then also now there's reports that he has no cartilage in one of his knees.
Yeah.
And so that is just a little concerning, I think, from a longevity perspective.
Well, and it seems like if these reports are true, I find it I would be very shocked. Well, I am very shocked that if these reports are true and the Titans still took him 3rd overall, knowing that these things, and like you're only getting a running back. Like running backs already have a short lifespan anyways, but it's like you normally just don't know when their bodies are going to give in. And just unfortunately when age sets in. But now it's like it seems like it's going to be even sooner than that if he's going to be able to finish out his rookie contract. Me though, personally, and maybe it's just a personal preference of mine, but like they drafted Hassan Haskins last year, which I think actually was a good pick considering I think he more closely resembles Derrick Henry. I think maybe you can build on. And if they want to go get a running back like this, Devin A-Chain was taken 2-3 picks later by Miami. And that to me, I think was the pick that should have been here.
Yeah.
Just in general, let alone, not that I dislike Tajay Spears, but I agree with you. I think Spears should have been taken later in the 4th or 5th round because he is a good change of pace back, but he's also very tough. But
he's a complimentary back at the NFL level.
Well, and A-Chain, I mean, they're almost the same players, but A-Chain had significant success against much more serious competition.
Yeah. And
also on top of that, now it seems like it's even more solidified because, yes, he has ACLs and cartilage. So I think that he could have come in and immediately complimented Derrick Henry. Well, not saying Tajay Spears can't, but there's just now a bunch of unknowns now going into this pick. So that to me, I really like this draft. I still gave them a good grade. One of the better drafts, in my personal opinion. I think top 10.
Mm-hmm.
But this brings it down a lot. I think if they get A chain here, I think you look at this offense now going into the season and the moves that they made on the defensive side, it's like there's a little bit of more hope, I think, in Tennessee.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and get into our grades here. So you gave them an A-. I gave them a B+. Those are pretty similar grades. Why did you give them an A-?
So they did do great jobs on the defensive side of the ball in free agency. By them not drafting, I mean, there's still issues on that side of the ball. I still think that they need secondary. I feel like they could have also maybe gotten an edge rusher. They did lose Bud Dupree as well. So, but that being said, though, they also signed Arden Key and Aziz Al-Shair, then Sean Murphy Bunting as well. So it's like I totally get why they went that way and handling their cap situation coming into the offseason. I think they did a really good job for what they got. So I understand not going defense, but then, as I just mentioned, though, going with Tajay Spears, like kind of seems like if you're wasting a pick on a running back when there's a much clear, better option just in general anyways. Then that's me brought down a little bit, but the positives, though, sorry, I'll end with all the positives. We talked about Skoronski, love that pick. Going to come in, make that offensive line significantly better. Jalen Duncan, huge upside in what you spent a 6th-round pick on him. So Will Levis, another one. I think there's great upside as well with little pressure at first. I think he can sit for a year, get to know the offense a little bit more. I like the tight end option as well. I think he'll pair up with Treylon Burks and Nick Westbrook-Akine well.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think you look at the players that they took, and I really like Skoronski, immediate filler on that offensive line. Getting Will Levis at 33 is tremendous value. He, in my opinion, was a top 15 pick. The talent that he has, if he were in last year's class, he would have been QB1 by a pretty large margin, just based off of his physical traits. If he would come out the year early, we wouldn't have had a lot of the questions about him in this year's Kentucky offense. And so I think you look at that, and I like that value a lot. The Tajay Spears thing is concerning, but again, the Josh Wiley pick, I do like that there was a solid pick. And so I think they did slightly above average, and that's why I think I gave them a B+ here. So, so yeah, but all in all, I think the Titans are in a good spot for, I don't want to say beginning a rebuild because they're kind of amidst a pseudo rebuild right now. But I think you look at where they are, I think they're going to be a middle of the road team again. Yeah. They're going to be picking in the mid-teens next season, most likely. I think they're going to be just cut out of the playoffs. And yeah, so I think it'll be interesting to see. But yeah.
It will be. I think that's a good point. I don't know how this draft like helps their playoff chances. It's weird. It's like it improves the team, but it doesn't help their playoff chances. Part of that is just because you look at the AFC as a whole, they are so freaking dominant. Like they're gonna have to win their division. And just on the outset, looking at it right now, it's hard for me to pick against Jacksonville going into this division. Yeah. But that being said, though, there's a slew of injuries last year. Good offensive additions. I think you do have a new offensive coordinator as well coming in. So what is his philosophy coming in and applying that to Derrick Henry running for 3,000 rushing yards in a season? So that would be great to see for Titans fans. But in general, though, I thought this was a good draft. Some errors, they were aggressive. I think they knew what they needed to do. And so I like seeing that.
Yeah, no, definitely. But let's go ahead. Let's wrap up the Titans draft recap there. If you guys haven't already, please go ahead and like and subscribe and leave a comment down below on what you thought of the Titans draft. Are we wrong? Who was your favorite pick? Anything, ask us questions down below and we'll do our best to answer it. And other than that, we will see you guys next time.